So in 2016, April and I got to go on a mission trip to Port-au-Prince, and it was our first mission trip pretty much anywhere, but definitely out of the country. And, originally I kind of signed up for this mission trip to check the Christian box, if you will. Go down, do some good, tell people about Jesus, go me kind of a thing. And, we actually accomplished all that stuff, which was great. But our missions trip was on a Thursday to a Thursday. And on Friday, I had to go into work. And I get in my car, and I'm about 5 feet from my door, and I just start crying. And I couldn't figure out why. I am not an emotional person. I don't really cry. So it really kind of threw me for a loop. And the rest of the day and that weekend, I was just super emotional. I really couldn't figure out why I was feeling this way. And so that next Monday, I'm driving into work, and I actually decided to do something that I'd never really done before. A little bit of background about myself. I had grown up in church. I've been going my whole life. I knew about God. I trusted in God. But I never really sought God or really, looked to God for answers, I guess you could say. So I'm driving into work, and I actually prayed to God. First time I've ever really done it, and just said, all right, God, what are your plans for me? What would you have me do? And actually, the rest of that whole week, that's what I did. I started reading my Bible and really seeking God into why I was kind of feeling this way. And he just confirmed it to me. I'm supposed to be a missionary in Haiti. Well, that obviously kind of threw me for a loop. So I called my pastor, and we met. And, the first thing he told me was, all right, hold up a minute. You're going through that post-missions trip high, where you think you're going to come back and you're going to save the world. But he's like, I want you to keep seeking God, keep praying, talk to some of our friends that have been missionaries in Haiti, and really dive into the Word and see God. So honestly, that's what I started doing. And actually, for the next couple months, I really, really sought God in everything that I did. And over and over and over again, he really kept confirming, you're supposed to be a missionary in Haiti. You're supposed to be a missionary in Haiti. And, I would even come home and talk to April about it. Like, hey, babe, this is what God's telling me today. And, oh, by the way, what do you think about being a missionary in Haiti, kind of a thing. And I could tell every time I brought it up, she wasn't quite on board with it. So at the end of that year, the end of 2016, I just said, all right, God, I got to put this in your hands. My wife might come to Haiti with me because she loves me, but I truly believe that if God has called me, he's called my wife, and he's called my family. And so I said, all right, God, I'm going to stop talking about it. You got to change her heart. You got to show her that, this is what our family's supposed to do. And so that's what I did. I stopped talking about it. And, I had another mission trip planned to do some hurricane relief work after Hurricane Matthew. And I was supposed to go in January. But that trip ended up getting postponed because my third son was born. And obviously I'm not going to go on that trip with a newborn baby. And, honestly, a part of me was kind of bummed because Zeke wasn't supposed to be born until after I had gone on this missions trip. And I remember praying to God, like, hey, I'm super excited my son's born, but God, I've been trying to get back to this country and the people that I just fell in love with, what's going on? And that trip actually ended up being rescheduled in March. And it was actually during that time that God really had started to work on April.
So when we got back from that missions trip in 2016, it was an amazing trip. And in those coming months after we got back home, I saw this crazy change in Jim that could only be from God. And it was just really cool to see him not only know Jesus, because he had known Jesus, he had a relationship with Jesus, but he was surrendering his life to him for the first time and just like fully on fire for the Lord. And it was just so cool to see this happening in my husband. And he was taking online Creole lessons to learn the language of Haiti, and just amazing things were happening. He would call me from break at work and be like, I was listening to the sermon today, or I was reading the Bible, and this is what God showed me. And, and this was pretty much every day, or like a couple times a week, he was sharing all of this stuff with me. It was really cool until he started sharing that he was really feeling that God was leading our family to move to Haiti. And I found myself over the summer continually trying to shove that away every time that happened, and kind of change the subject back. I kept telling myself, God used Haiti as the catalyst to change Jim, but we're not really supposed to move to Haiti. He'll eventually figure it out. And in the meantime, I would just keep trying to change the conversation, which wasn't good, but that was where I was at. at that point in the journey, because it scared me, honestly, to think about moving to another country. For those of you that don't know our story, we've had a pretty long journey to become parents, and we now have 7 children in heaven that we look forward to seeing again one day, and we have that hope, knowing we will. But since it took us a while to become parents, and now we have these 3 amazing boys, I could not, as a mama, imagine taking my boys to a third world country. And so it was the farthest thing on my mind. I even told him, I was like, I'm fine with just going 2 to 3 times a year. You know, we can have the grandparents watch the boys. Obviously, that was not God's plans, though. And so fast forward to the end of the year, I'm noticing he's not talking about it as much. I'm like, oh, he's getting it. He's realizing we're not supposed to move. So I was excited about this. And January that next year, we had Vision Sunday at church, and our pastor was sitting there talking about the recap of the year and the team going to Haiti, and shared about that. And he goes, yeah, right here, right now, we have this couple in our church that if it was up to them, they would be in Haiti today. And that's Jim and April Starkey. And I still to this day remember like a lightning bolt going through my body, like, no, April Starkey does not want to be in Haiti.
Jim was saying yes. That was...
And I had no clue he was going to say that. And so from that point forward, in the beginning of the year of 2017, I could tell God was slowly working in my heart about that. I even remember kind of like thinking, okay, God, what are you doing? I know what you're doing. Please don't do it, you know, kind of a thing. And so during the month of February, I go to this adoption retreat with my sister in Georgia. And I've been there before, so I knew what to expect, to become a better mama, a better wife in Christ, and knowing how to take care of our kiddos and help with anything they're going through. And yet, every session I attended, God was speaking to my heart about Haiti. And everything that I learned, it was directing back to what he was trying to work in my heart to prepare me for Haiti. It was so bold that I knew at the end of that I needed to surrender to him. I needed to have that moment with him, because I was holding back. I was holding back and putting up this wall between what he was trying to do. And so I got back and I had that moment with him, and I said, okay, God, you know my heart. I mean, you created me. You know, I don't want to move to Haiti right now. You know, I love the country. I love the people. I'm okay visiting Haiti, but I don't want to move to Haiti right now. So I wanted to follow God more, and I love God more. So I told him that, and I said, God, even though I don't love Haiti, or I don't want to move to Haiti, I love you more. And so God, if you're wanting me to do this, you're going to have to change my heart. And so I just was so real with him and so honest. And I just said, Lord, change me. I surrender. If this is what you want, you're going to have to do it, because it's something I can't do on my own. And so I remember just thinking at that time, I was sitting there, and I remember just thinking, I don't want to get to the end of my life. And then Jesus stands before me and he says, April, this is all I could have done with your life if you did not give into fear. Because I've struggled with fear, like I said, since our journey with parenthood. Now that I have these boys, I struggle with needing to daily surrender them to the Lord, knowing they are his anyways, and that they are ultimately in his control and his protection. And so fear has been something I've always struggled with. And so I gave it to him that day. And throughout the rest of the weeks, I kept praying and seeking him specifically about Haiti. And so it was just, I think, a week or 2 before he left for Haiti for the second time. And I was in the Word with the Lord and just spending time with him. And I just remember him whispering to my heart, Haiti is home. And in that second, in that moment, every fear, every worry, every question I had that was dominating my mind was replaced with God's peace and God's excitement and joy that could only come from him. And I can't explain it to you other than to know where I was beforehand, how adamant I was of not wanting to move to Haiti, and how scared I was, and how all these other things that I was dealing with, and God completely replaced it with his excitement and his peace. I knew at that moment that with him whispering that to my heart and replacing that, that was him. That was him showing me that we were supposed to move to Haiti. So I called Jim up on the phone, because remember, he hadn't been really talking about it for a few months, so I thought he had forgotten about it. And so I was like, so you're gonna laugh. I was like, but I think we're supposed to move to Haiti. God kind of told me today that we're supposed to move to Haiti as a family. And of course he laughs, and then that's when he told me, he's like, I've been praying for you. He goes, I knew that if this was something that wasn't just me and something that was for our family, that God would call not just me, but God would call you. And so that we would be united. And that's what I've been praying for. And that was so cool to know that that is what had been going on behind the scenes. And so that's when we knew for sure that God had called our family to Haiti.